Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And today we're going to review the Harbor Freight Central Hydraulics 12-ton pipe bender. I've had this one for probably 13 or 14 years now, and it's come in handy a lot of times. I've used it many times for different projects, but this is a great pipe bender, well worth it. And it is sitting in the proper position for using it. It has, like I showed you, it has these little pin legs under it to keep it sitting level. And I've got it on the corner of the table here because I'm going to show you actually how it bends. And I've got the phone in a tripod right now. That's why it seems kind of mechanical as it's being moved. Okay, over there are the different bender bits that come with it. And they go everywhere from anywhere from 1/2 inch going up in 1/4 inch increments all the way up to 2 inch. The one I have in the bender right now is 1.5 inches because this is 1.5 inch pipe and that's what I'm using. And you can go all the way up to 2 inch schedule 80 iron pipe. So you can bend gas pipe with this thing or heavy duty water pipe if you wanted. It will handle it without a problem. You don't need 4 guys pulling on the lever. The little tiny handle that it has right there is all that you need, and 1 person operating it. All right, so I went over and I measured for, this is going to be the handrail for where Andy's pad is, where he gets out of his motorhome. And I need 4 feet at the motorhome side because he's up a little higher than the concrete pad, which is this little rectangle right there. And stupid fly. And then I needed to drop 7 inches, which is a standard step height. So he'll come 7 inches out of the motorhome down onto the concrete pad. So I'm only going to have 1 pole going in. So underground where it goes into the concrete, I will drill holes through the pipe and put a couple of pins through so it won't spin back and forth or rotate in the concrete after the concrete dries. It'll be real sturdy. All right. So, since it's only 1.5 feet of rail, it don't really need 2 poles going into the ground. It's just kind of a waste of metal. All right, so I'm going to have a 6-inch curl over on the end, and I've already marked my pipe where I'm going to be bending it. I got 1 mark here, and I got 1 mark up there in the bender already. Now, someone is asking if it was like a conduit bender for electrical conduit bender. Well, yeah, sort of, except you're not using your arm and a metal handle and your foot stepping on it and trying to bend the pipe. This one you're going to use hydraulics. But this one does not have increments set anywhere on the radius of the bender. So you actually just have to get a piece of pipe and practice with it to know where you're going to set it to bend it. Now, basically, what you're going to do is figure out where the center of your bend is going to be on your pipe, which is right there and right there. So I know where the center of the bend is. It's right at the measuring mark is where I want to bend it. So this measuring mark and that measuring mark is going to align dead center in this bender. Okay, so right dead center of the unit is where I want to set that. So let me see if I can get this camera in a little closer to give you a better view while I'm working this. And let's see if, all right, I think that might do. All right, so I'm all set up to go. And I've already set my mark under here is set in the center. And all I'm going to do is start working the handle here, because I've already tighten the set on the bottom here, and we're going to bring it up and snug it up against the pipe, and then the pipe will rest between the bender and the rollers, and the rollers are also adjustable for distance apart. Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing something here. Okay. So I'm going to have to bend the smaller bend second. The reason for that is I'll have to move this roller pin in closer to handle just a little 6-inch bend. All right, so for right now, let me retract this, and we're going to move it over to the other mark. For demonstration purposes, I just want to show you how easy this thing bends. So we're going to reset the lock and start bringing it in. And then I can get my hand freed up and readjust the camera into place here. All right. So I got my second mark dead center on the piston of the hydraulics. So we're going to come up in here and let me get a better look here, and then we're going to just start pumping this. Now notice I'm doing this one-handed, and I just put my hand here just to keep it from sliding on the table. And as I start pumping, you'll see that pipe moving over here, and it's going to be going that way. Yeah, it's going to be going that way as it bends. Yeah, it's not fast, but it is effective. And we're coming up on just about 90 degrees now. As you can see it over there and over there on both sides of the unit, okay? Just a little bit more. And then I should have my 7-inch drop just the way I want it. 1, 2, 3. So I always go 3 pumps past the place that I wanted it, because you're going to have a little bit of spring back. So right now I'm 3 pumps past. You can see it pointing over in that direction now. Pointed over in that direction now. So it is ready. I can release this, take it out, and I can bend the little end piece after I move this roller over to the last hole. Now I'll make my final bend on that one, which will actually, when I bend it, I'll be aligning it so that it's parallel to this one out there. So that'll look a lot like my little drawing here. This one is running straight down, this one is running straight down. So that's the way I'll finish it off, and then I'll go drill the holes in it, put my pins in it, and set it in concrete. And then the next time Andy comes up, he'll have a handrail to get out of his motorhome. All right, and that is a demonstration of the Harbor Freight 12-ton hydraulic bender. All right, those are the parts that come with it. Start all the way up at 2-inch and down to 1/2 inch. An 1.5 inch is in there because that's the size pipe I'm bending. All right, so let's get something else here done. It's already gone on 10 minutes here. I want to do a quick one on paint sprayers. I was asked about paint sprayers. Well, I've got the Magnum by Graco. This is the X7. This is not high-end professional, but this is a good mid-range homeowner's airless sprayer that does everything, is easy to clean, and you have different tips that come with it. It's got a filter that's up inside the handle here that you have to clean after each use. And I use the tips with the reversible spray tip on there in case any dirt or gunk gets up through the line and blocks the tip. Instead of having to take the tip off of the gun and clean it out with a little wire and all of that, all you do is rotate this thing to the opposite direction, squeeze your trigger, it blows the blockage out, and you put it back into the spray position and go on spraying. And I'll do you a quick demonstration on that in a minute and how easy this thing works and how easy it is to clean. Now, I just cleaned it up because I just finished painting this wall of the orange container. So we're all painted in here, and I painted the inside of the garage door, so that's all done. So now I can start getting my shelving in here and get things put away before the winter sneaks up on me. All right, and I did rake some of this out and clean it. I moved everything over either to the center or to the other wall, and then everything is going to get put back where it's actually going to stay from now on. And this shelving unit is going all the way down there right by the door, going out. It'll be up against the container wall because I just keep nails on there. And I don't use a lot of nails, but I've got them here. And I've got them for the air nail guns, which I do have also. All right, so we got that ready. So here, let's go back to the sprayer here. Now this is a pretty good sprayer for a homeowner, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it's easy to use and it's easy to clean. What more do you want, right? All right, so on this side of the unit is the on-off switch, okay? So it's in the on position right now. And the reason it's not running is because this switch is in the spray position. And I've got this dial set up to spray. So when you first put it into your paint, I just have water in the bucket now because I just cleaned this, but it'll work with water. All right, so I'm going to set it in the center right there where it says prime. Okay, so that's the needle right there putting on prime. And if I flip this down, it'll start running and you'll see the motion down there. It's sucking paint up through the airless sprayer and back down into the bucket. And it would do that with paint, all right? Once you got it running, then you pop this switch up and it'll come to a stop because it's under pressure right now. Then you're going to rotate this. Now, if you're using a roller attachment on the hose, you would switch it to the lower side here, and you would actually go this way with it. But so I'm using a sprayer, so I'm going to go up this way. And you can go all the way up there, and that's really high pressure. You don't ever really want to be up that high. I go about 1/3 of the way for most latex paints. All right? So, we're there. Here's the gun. I'm pointing in a safe direction, and there's a spray. Now, you see how it's fanned out? As I'm holding this sideways, it's fanned out sideways. And when I hold it this way, it's fanned out up and down. Now, you can change that by cracking the tip loose right there and rotating it. Okay, so let me hold this in one hand here while I'm trying to hold the camera. And I'm going to flip the switch for clean out on here. Now, if there was something plugging the tip, I would squeeze it like that and squirt out whatever it was, and then go back and switch this back into the spray position and go back to spray. All right? Now, you see a little after spray on this thing, a little final kick out. That's with water. It won't do that with paint. All right? But this is all cleaned up now. And as you can see, the tip's all clean and all of that. I've had this for a long time. This is a 515 tip, and I like that for most latex paints. I have another tip down there I'm not sure which one that one is, but that one also fits on the same gun, and it does a good job. All right, here, before I hang this back up, here you see this little hose adapter with the little lever switch for turning it on and off, okay? That makes cleaning this thing very, very easy. All right, so let's say I was just spraying paint with this, all right? So I'm ready to clean the unit. So I'm going to get a bucket with like about that much water, about 1 gallon in the bottom of it. And I'm going to take this whole system out, and I'm going to drop it into the bucket of water, out of the paint into the water. Then I can rinse the hose off with just reaching in like this and rinse all the extra paint off the outside of this thing. Shake it around like that and clean off all the outside of it. All right. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to shift this back to prime. You see the action down there. That's going to clean all of the paint out of the machine. Okay, so now all the paint is cleaned out of the machine, but there's still paint in all of that hose. And I don't want to waste that paint. I'm going to put it back in the bucket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sprayer here, and I can either take the tip off and drop it in the water to start cleaning, or I can reverse the tip here for the cleaning position in reverse. I don't like doing that because that's just extra wear on the tip that you don't really need. So normally just take it off right at that point. And then go over to your paint bucket, put this in there and squeeze it. And you'll spray out the extra paint that's in the hose, and keep it going against the side of your paint bucket, your 5-gallon bucket, and you'll see it starting to thin out and turn to water. That's when you can stop spraying, because you don't want to put too much water back into your paint if you're going to save that paint. All right, so now we've got all of the main paint out of the system, but it's still not clean. So here's the easy part. Okay, so now we're going to take it out of this bucket altogether. This piece, you see it's a garden hose connection right there. This piece, the strainer, will unscrew out of there. Now you can attach your garden hose directly into this hose. And then turn on your water on the garden hose. And then turn this back to the prime position. And let the clean water go through and clean it out until you see only clean water coming out of this return line. All right, now you've got the sprayer pretty darn clean. Now you got to clean out your hose. So now you got water pressure going in there, and remember, you'll be using this little shut-off adapter so you can shut off the pressure anytime you want. So you have that attached to your garden hose and going into this hose. So now you're going to put this into the spray position, and you can take your sprayer again, stick it in your bucket of water that you started with, and squeeze it while the tip is underwater. You got this spray tip off, so you just got the end of the gun underwater, and keep on spraying it until you notice that the water is starting to come out clear out of the end of it. And then I usually just take it and spray it off and water the lawn or water some bushes or whatever, because it's just water with a little bit of ammonia in it, and it's good for plants. It won't hurt them. So you just go ahead and spray it out and keep going until you got fresh, clean water coming out of there. And guess what? You're all done. It's all clean, ready to put away. And if you're going to store it for a long period of time, they sell a product called Pump Protector. It's a blue liquid in a 1-quart bottle, and it's got a large opening cover on the top of it. So you can take that out. You can drop it this end of the strainer inside of that unit. You turn on the compressor, prime it through there, get it into the unit, and then put it on to spray and run some up through your hose. And what that'll do is it'll protect you for a long storage periods so that you don't get rust and stuff and corrosion in any of your parts of your sprayer. I've had this thing now. I bought it at Home Depot, I would say somewhere around 1993, 94. So it's a great running unit. And as you can see, it does a real nice job of spraying. I sprayed the outsides of these containers. I sprayed the inside of my shop here. I sprayed my walls. I did everything with this. Great sprayer. All right, everybody. I've gone a little long today, but I wanted to get those things covered for you. This is G-Bear reminding you, don't forget to give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to download it if you want to save this, or click save and save it. You can download it and save it on DVD or CD, whatever like that. You do have my permission to share it with other friends and other people. All right, G-Bear signing off.